Hello and welcome back to Vanircreations tutorials. Today we're going to be making this woven sun catcher with prisms, charms and chains. We've also got some prism beads in there as well. Unfortunately today it is raining, so I can't show you the sun shining through these prisms, but I will leave some footage here so you guys can see how beautiful these are. Please be aware that during this video I do call the jump rings, jump loops and jump hoops. They're all the same thing. I just have a dyslexic brain that likes to call things by different names. So if I'm referring to jump rings, jump loops, jump hoops, it's all the same thing. And we just have large ones that are 10mm and small ones which are about 8mm. So sorry for that confusion, but that's what that means. There is a kit for this sun catcher linked down below. It's the first link you'll see, and it will have everything here used to make this sun catcher, other than the tools which are the scissors, pliers and ruler. They're the only things that aren't in the kit. I have searched high and low for these materials to be able to make this as inexpensive as possible for you to purchase all together. I'd also like to leave a quick note here that when you are cutting the metal chains in this video, we do say that you should probably be wearing some kind of goggles so that the pieces of metal don't go into your eye. And also, if you are hanging these, specifically if you're hanging them in a children's bedroom, the prisms are made from actual glass, so if they do break they will be very sharp, so please make sure they're out of reach of any children and that they are very secure. Other than that, let's get into the tutorial. The materials you'll need to make this sun catcher are a 7-inch hoop. You'll need about 5 meters of the colour of your choice in the string. You'll need your prisms. I've got 2 large prisms, 6 small prisms, and then 3 of these double holed ones. They've got holes on each side. And then I've got 2 star charms, 1 moon charm. I've got 1.5 meters of chain, and I've got some beads and some thread. If you want to know the exact sizes of everything, they'll be on our website on the listing. You can see the exact size of everything that I've used here. We'll also have some small and large jump hoops, or jump loops, do they call them? Yeah, in the kit as well. So all this will be available in the kit, so you can buy it all together and you don't have to buy it separately. You will also need some wire. This is 1mm gold wire. This will be in the kit as well, so you'll also need that. And for tools, you'll need some scissors. You can use pliers if you have them, some cutting pliers, but scissors will cut the chain just as well. And then you'll need these kind of pressing pliers. You can use any kind of pliers, but these are the specific craft pliers for jewellery, which work really, really well. So you will need some of them. These are not in the kit. So the scissors and the pliers are not in the kit. You'll also need a ruler as well, which will not be in the kit. But you can find these on Amazon or any craft stores. To wrap your hoop, get your string, pass it under your hoop and then tie in just a normal overhand knot like this, as you can see, and then leave a little bit of cord at the other side, and we're going to wrap this onto the hoop. So what you do is wrap the string around the hoop and also the end of the string like this. gone all the way around your hoop, like this, we're just going to tie it. So how we do that is we go round the back and then we're going to go through this loop here. So can you see? And then go through the loop and then pull. And then cut to about maybe 5 centimetres and part these threads here and go back round and just tie in a normal overhand knot again, just like that. I'm just going to do another double knot, another overhand knot, and then cut them ends off. And there is your hoop, ready to put your web on. So to do your web, get your thread, which will be in your kit. This is thick white thread. And I'm gonna tie it on to the hoop, just using overhand knots, probably about, tie it about 4 times. And then I've got a piece of paper that's 4 centimetres long, and I'm going to use this as my measuring tool. So get your 4 centimetre piece of paper or cardboard or whatever it is you've got. And then we're going to go around 4 centimetres along. So that's my 4 centimetre. We're going to go around the back, round the front, but then you're going to go through this loop here. I'll show you again in a minute. And then it creates something like that. Measure again, find your place, then go around the back and through this loop. Measure again. Go around and through the loop. Round and through the loop. Right, and when you've gone all the way around doing that same pattern, you've come back round, as you can see, to here. Now you're going to start going through these loops. So you pull out your string or your thread, and now you're going to put, so like that. So now we've gone through the loop. I pulled it out, I'll show you again here. So we pull the loop out and thread it through. Pull the loop out and thread it through. pull it out, and then we go under it and through. Pull it out, go through the loop. You see the pattern it's starting to get? The webbed look. And then when you come back round again, you'll know when you've done a full circle because you'll be at where you originally tied your thread on to the hoop. So that's once we've gone round there, twice including the original. And now we're going to go around again. So now, can you see the little triangles that it's made? You're lifting them up now and you're going through them. It gets much easier at this stage. So now you're just going to go through them little triangles. Make sure you don't miss any out because you'll just have gaps in your web if you do. Pull that out, pop through, pull that out, pop it through. And now you've come back around again. Can you see I've stopped again at where you've originally tied it on. We're now going to cut the thread, leave a bit of, probably about 20 centimetres or 10 centimetres of thread loose like that, and just leave your thread. Pop that to one side. And now we're going to thread our beads onto this. So I'm going to take a gold one first, then a small prism bead, then another gold bead. These will all be in the kit. Then a big prism, and then just keep doing that pattern. I'll show you at the end. So it'll be gold, small prism, gold, big prism, gold, small prism, gold, big prism. So when you've got all your beads on like this, you see the pattern that I've done? Whoa. We've got gold, small prism, gold, big prism. We've gone all the way along. Now we're going to tie this thread here onto the original thread that you cut off before. We're just going to use normal overhand knots. So just tie it on. I'm probably going to tie about 5 times just so it's really secure. And then cut them ends off, not too close because it'll unravel. Just make sure that that is secure before you carry on webbing, because if that comes apart, it will not be fun. And then make sure you've got your thread tight on your spool if it's come loose a bit. And now we're just going to carry on doing the exact same thing we did before. The only difference is now we've got beads on our thread, but the best thing to do is just try not to think about that too much. So pull out your next section and pop your spool through. And wherever the beads lie, just leave them, because what we're going to do is we'll thread them beads in a minute when we've gone all the way around. So just keep threading that through your next little loop triangles. And then when you come all the way back round, just pull it a bit tight. Keep it in your hand so that it doesn't come loose, that thread. And now we're just gonna move these beads around into place. So you can do a few at a time. And then just keep threading through when you've done that. So these beads aren't going to stay where they are, but I've just moved them around so they're not all in one section, because it can become quite loose in one section if you keep your beads all in one place. So I've just moved them around so it's easier for me to manoeuvre the thread around when I'm webbing. So just keep threading through like you were before. So then you've come around again to the beginning, can you see? We're going to go around one more time. So when you've come all the way around again, so can you see around this section, cut your thread. And now we're going to tie it. So this bit's probably the most difficult. I think this is the most difficult bit of the whole tutorial that we're going to do now. So how we do this is, so you've just cut your thread off. And now you're going to put it through, back through this loop here, or this triangle here. So pop your thread through that triangle, and then you should have created, grab it with your other hand, and you should have created a loop here. Pop that through the loop and pull. Now go through it again, but under this time I'm going to go up. Let me just show you again. So get your thread and put it up. And then this loop that you've created, the thread goes through that. And then we're going to do it again. And then go through the loop. Just make sure you take your time with this bit, because it can be quite difficult to do. And then when you've done it about 4 or 5 times, just cut this thread off, but don't cut it too close. Oh, scissors have got a bit of tape on there. Don't cut it too close. And I'm just going to cut this original bit off as well. Probably should have done that before I started. Never cut the thread too close to the knot, because it will just unravel the whole thing. And now you've got that circular section in the middle where you're going to put a prism. But before we do that, I'm just going to space these beads out a bit nicer so they're all quite even. And then when they're all spaced out like that, you can see, you can space them out however you like, but that's how I've done mine. We'll move on to the chains. Next, we're going to attach our first prism to the hoop. So firstly, you want to get some of your chain. I'm going to cut 6 centimetres of chain. You can use your scissors to cut, or you can use pliers. I'm just going to show you that it does cut with scissors if you don't have pliers, so don't worry about that. You don't need them. So you've got your 6 centimetres of chain there. Then grab your wire. Get about 6 centimetres of that. Pop it through your prism. Should be a hole in your prism, pop it through. Bring it together. So get your wire, pop it through, bring it together, and then just twist once, not too close to the prism, because you need to put your hoop through. So just open up your loop. You can do it with your hands because they're quite easy to manoeuvre, these ones. And then just pop it through that loop there, can you see? So now you've got a loop through there. And then close it back up. Once you've got that on, twist the wire and then cut quite close. Just make sure you have got enough length on it to secure that jump loop. Now you're going to attach it to your chain. So open your jump loop again. Just a little bit. And thread your chain through. And then close it up again. So it's attached to your chain now. Now we're going to attach it to the top of our hoop. So you'll need another jump loop like this, but before we do that, cut about 25 centimetres of chain. Because that's going to be the top of your suncatcher. So get your chain here, pop it onto your jump loop like that. Put your jump loop around the top of your wrapped hoop. So now we have to kind of fit this jump loop around our main hoops. Can you see there? You can do it with your hands like I said, but it is easier to use these pliers. So now get your pliers and secure it with them. And there it is attached to the top. That is your first prism done. Now we're going to start attaching the bottom length. So next you're going to cut 25 centimetres of chain. And we're going to attach the charm in the centre first. So how we do that is cut this 25 centimetres in half. So just pop it in half like that to find the halves. And then cut. Then get one of your smaller jump loops. Pop it through the top of your moon and then attach the chain to that. And then close it up with your pliers. Now grab one of your small prisms, the very, very small ones that have 2 holes in them, and pop one of your jump loops, the smaller jump loops, through one of the holes, and also through the bottom of your moon there, and then close that up again with your pliers. Now get another small jump loop, a jump ring, pop that through the bottom of your prism, and then pop the other piece of chain that you've cut around it as well. So you've got your chain and also your prism on that, and then close it up again. So we've just used the small jump rings here. So you should have something that looks a bit like that so far. Now we need to get 2 smaller chains that are going to come down here either side of the moon. So grab your chain and cut 2 5 centimetre long pieces of chain. Now get one of these chains and pop one of your small jump loops through it, and then attach it to the bottom of the moon here on one of the sides. Close that up. I might just use my hands to close that one up. There we go. And then do the same on the opposite side, again with a small jump ring. Just attach that to the other side there. And now we're going to attach these smaller prisms, teardrop ones, to the bottoms of this moon charm. So grab one of the larger jump loops now, pop it through the hole in your prism, and then pop it through the bottom of this chain, the smaller chains you've just added, and then close up that jump loop. Grab another large one, another large jump ring, And do the same on the opposite side with another prism. And then close that up. So if you can see now, you've got that pattern coming on. Just check they're the same size. If they're not the same length, you can always cut an extra chain off, an extra loop of this chain off to make them exact, but mine seem to be okay. Now we're going to get another large teardrop prism, cut another 6 centimetres of wire, pop it through. I'm going to do the same thing we did before, get a large jump loop and just pop it on that wire and then twist it on. Cut that wire a bit shorter. So you're probably leaving probably less than ½ centimetre of it. Make sure it's secure. And then attach this now to the chain at the bottom. So open up your jump ring, close it. And now you've got that large prism attached. Now we're going to attach this to our actual main hoop, sorry. So grab one of your large jump rings again. Now you need to try and get it dead in the centre, this one. But don't worry, you can always move it later on, but it's better if you get it done right the first time. So make sure it lines up when you're attaching it. Oh, make sure when you're attaching it, it lines up with this one at the top here. So you could, if you wanted to, get a ruler and just make sure you get the exact place at the bottom. And then close that loop up. So I always find this bit's probably one of the fiddliest bits, attaching these to the loop, the hoop. So close that up. And that is your first chain added to your, second chain added to your suncatcher. So next we're going to cut our next 2 chains. So we're going to cut 2 20 centimetre lengths. So just make sure they are exactly the same before you add them on. Yep. So as I do that, to find out if they're the exact same length, I just lay them down on the table and pull them as straight as I can. So this one has 4 chains longer than the other, so I'm going to cut them extra 4 chains off. To make it look super symmetrical. So now I'm going to grab one of my small teardrop prisms again, and I'm going to put the large, I know we use the small ones, didn't we? Oh no, large. I'm going to put the large jump ring through it again, and then one of the chains, and close that up. Grab another prism, another large jump ring, and do the exact same thing you just did pop it through the hole in your prism, and then pop it through your chain. And then we're going to attach both of these to the main hoop. There's so many loops and hoops. Like this loop, this hoop. So now get the top of your chain, add it to one of your large jump rings and attach it to the bottom of your loop. I'll let you know how far along I've done it in a minute, so you can measure it to get it exact same as mine if that's what you're wanting. And then close that up. I always find this bit so fiddly. There we go. That's attached. So that is 7 centimetres. So now try and do the exact same on the other side, so about 7 centimetres on the other side. For the next chain, cut to 15 centimetres. There, I've got two 15 centimetre chains. Now I'm going to add them to the hoop. Oh no, no I'm not. So you've got your two 15 centimetre chains there, and we're going to add where's my small ones? There. We're going to add the stars on. So get your 15 centimetre chain and cut it in half. And do the same with your other chain. And just make sure that that all of them chains are the exact size. So lay them straight. They are pretty damn perfect. But if you've got one that's like a chain longer or something, you can cut that off, but they're pretty good. So for the next bit, grab one of your small chains that we've just cut, get one of your jump rings and one of your star charms and attach them together using that jump ring. Then get your pliers and close that up, or you can just do that with your hands, that bit. Up to you. Right, so grab one of the large jump loops and one of these prisms that have the two holes either side. Pop the large jump hoop through it, and then we're going to put it around the bottom of this star charm in between the bottom two points. And then close that up. And then that should fit quite nicely there on the bottom. Now grab one of your smaller jump loops, put it through the bottom and add another chain onto it. So you now should have something that looks like this. Now get one of your smaller teardrop prisms, get a large jump hoop, pop it through and then pop it through the chain. leave that to one side. Now we're going to do the exact same thing again on the other side. So now you've got two exactly the same. We're going to attach it using one of the large jump loops on either side. Pop it through the top. And then I'm going to pop it right on the side here. So I'll measure in a minute to show you how far up I've done that. And again on the other side. Oh, so I just need to tell you how long that is, don't I? So that is 7.5 centimetres. Seven and a half centimetres. If it's not opened enough, make sure you pull it open so that it goes right round the hoop. And then close with your pliers. There you go. And then just before you finish, the top, very top of your suncatcher, sometimes good to add another large jump hoop so you can hang it with that. You can use something else if you want, but I think that's the best thing to hang it with. And that is all your chains added.